Hello, everyone. Welcome to Free Write Friday. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jessica Lynn Johnson, and I am the CEO and the founder of Soaring Solo Studios. Soaring Solo is a company that is dedicated to coaching, developing, directing, producing solo theater all around the world. And I work alongside Heather Dowling, who is also an award-winning solo theater performer and director, and we get to work with people all over the globe. And so it's been both of our honors to help people tell their stories from stage. And I've been in this field for over 20 years. I've directed and developed over 200 solo shows at this point and produced hundreds more. I'm a solo artist myself with a couple of one-woman shows that I performed for over 13 years. Um, I work with the LA Women's Theater Festival as both a director and a teaching artist. I write a blog for the NoHo Arts website. So if you go to the NoHo Arts website and look up Soaring Solo, you'll find a bunch of free blog entries with lots of tips for the solo theater world. So that's a little bit about me. As you can see, I'm a little obsessed with solo theater. It is my passion. So I'd love to hear from you. Please feel free to say hi in the chat. Let me know where in the world you are tuning in from or where you're at in your solo theater journey. If you've got something creative you want to plug or brag about in the chat, go for it. All about supporting one another in our creative endeavors in the solo theater community. So go for it. And the Free Write Friday experience is really meant to carve out time once a month together just to get some writing done, to explore things like playwriting structure for solo theater, different writing prompts that get us excited and get words on the page, character development, all sorts of things with regard to solo theater development. And I'm going to probably just jump right in with our prompt for today. Let me see. Yeah, I do have some announcements, but I'll go through those at the end. So we'll get into our writing first. So today we're going to be exploring this thing called Letters from Love. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Letters from Love. It's a daily spiritual writing practice that you could find on Substack. And it's by Elizabeth Gilbert. And if you're not familiar with Elizabeth Gilbert, she is the author who wrote Eat, Pray, Love and Big Magic and All the Way to the River. I love her. I think she is a prolific writer, but also a spiritual mentor in many ways. I just always love the lens from which she sees the world. And so, anyway, this concept of letters from love is a daily writing practice where basically you open your notebook and you ask love, you say, Dear love, what would you have me know today? Dear love, what would you have me know today? And then you just write, you let yourself write. And the goal, according to Elizabeth Gilbert, is really to combat self loathing, to offer yourself compassion, guidance, mercy, those sorts of things. And so today we're going to take a little stab at that for 8 minutes. And then I'll talk to you about exactly how I see this practice corresponding with solo theater. But first, we're going to jump in and do it, and then we'll get into the discussion. So I'm going to set the timer for 8 minutes. And so, in Free Write Friday, you never have to share anything that you've written. This isn't the forum for sharing work. So this is just for you right now to see what comes out on the page. And if you hate this prompt and you don't want to do it, then write something else. Like, it's up to you. This is just some time for you to write. But I would encourage you to consider the question of, Dear love, what would you have me know today? And just write an answer to that. So I'm going to go in the apps here and I am going to set the timer for 8 minutes. But you can go ahead and jump right in. And when the 8 minutes are up, we will reconvene and talk about this prompt and its application to solo. A little over a minute left. Okay, go ahead and wrap up your writing. Hopefully, you got something useful out of that. So, why did I want to do this today as a practice for solo theater artists? So, to me, solo theater, when you go to write and perform your own solo show, brings up a lot of different things, a lot of different emotions. With all the different people that I've worked with over the years, one of the most common things is unworthiness. Often people wonder, if they have a story worth telling, if their story's been told in another way by somebody else better. Um, you know, uh, they have other things in their life that just keep taking precedence over their solo show and are more important to them, or less important, but yet take up space. And so by starting to enlist a practice like this where we're talking about self-love and love speaking to us on a daily basis, we start to nurture that part of ourselves, which is going to be really essential in the solo theater process when you start putting other things on the back burner so that you can invest time and resources in your solo show, and so that you can vulnerably share your story and know that you're worthy of taking up space, and that you do have a story worth telling, and that you do have a message worth hearing. And so, getting into this sort of a practice regularly, I would encourage each one of you to consider it, and maybe even look at Elizabeth Gilbert's Substack about this and get involved in the community. And not only that, love can be a really great character in your solo show, or a character, a personification inspired by the energy and spirit of love. Oftentimes, you'll see in solo shows that people can have critical characters, like an inner critic or some other sort of enemy type of bad guy in their solo shows. But we also need an opposing energy to that, an inner cheerleader, a spiritual guide, someone who's on our side in a solo show, especially a multi-character solo show. So I'll give you some examples. My client, Susan Edsel, who's done very well with her one-woman show, Buen Camino. She's toured Edinburgh. She's been to Hawaii. Well, she lives in Hawaii. She did her show there. She did it New York City, Los Angeles, Montana, like all sorts of places. She's done this show, and it's about um, losing her partner, her life partner, and deciding to walk the Camino over 500 miles after that devastating loss, and to see what she discovered, what was there for her. And on the trail, she met the spirit of love. That was her experience. And it led her through dropping all sorts of burdens and resentments, things that were weighing her down. And this was a very riveting character that she played. She also played a multitude of other characters, but love was one of the main characters that played with Susan on stage. Even though Susan played all the characters, you would think you were watching a cast. So that character was very pivotal in the telling of Susan's story. I've also, my client Amber Sousa, who did a show about drug addiction and divorce and just new beginnings and all sorts of things. Her show is called Waking Up to All of Me. This was several years ago, and she played a character called Soul, which was essentially her higher self, but that character was all unconditional love. It was just encouraging her through her meth addiction to, get out of that and find new life, and through her, abusive relationship, and just, a multitude of other things that her character struggled with. The character of Soul, who I would equate with love, was a really important mentor and guide along the journey. So those are just a couple of examples. I could go on with different archetypes representing love in solo shows that people have used, but you might find if you continue this practice of writing from the point of view of love, that it may serve as a character in your solo show. And if nothing else, it will serve as fuel for you and encouragement for you as you write and perform your solo show, which ultimately I think all of us need. Okay, so I'm going to roll through some solo theater announcements now before we finish up for today. And don't feel like you have to keep up with me with this. I will email these announcements to anybody who RSVP'd through the website. They'll get this email later along with the replay of this in case you want to watch today again or you want to share it with anybody. But some announcements are, I also teach a free monthly class called The Art of Creating the One-Person Show. It's a 90-minute class, and that is a forum where you can share what you've written if you'd like to. I also guide you through visualization and meditation, and we write in that so you can come to class without anything and leave class with some new written content for your solo show. So the next one of my Art of Creating the One-Person Show classes takes place on Saturday, August 8th at 10 a.m. Pacific, noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. Again, it's 90 minutes, totally free. Happens once a month. I've been teaching it for like almost 20 years now, so you can come as often as you'd like. And if you ever wanted to work with myself or with Heather in a more professional capacity, we offer small groups, one-on-one coaching, power pair sessions, special events, all sorts of things. The best place to start is with an initial consultation, which I offer at a discounted rate of $69 for the hour, just to get us started in a conversation so I can hear where you're at with your solo show curiosities or goals and help move you to the next level. We also do an event, it's ongoing, it's called Revealed, and it's a virtual reading series. So whether you're in a position where you already have kind of a draft of your solo show written, or maybe you've not written a single word, you just have ideas, Revealed is a wonderful stake to put in the ground that we would co-produce with you, and it enables you to read your script to a virtual audience, get feedback from that virtual audience about what is and is not working before you go through the trouble of putting the show on stage and investing in it and memorizing it and all those things. You want to make sure you have a solid script. So that's what Revealed helps to make sure happens, because we need the audience feedback to make sure there aren't blind spots or structural things that need to be enhanced. If you enjoyed today, you want to come back, the next FREEWrite Friday happens August 14th at 9:30 Pacific, 11:30 Central, 12:30 Eastern. And I always record these and put these on my YouTube channel so you can watch it back there later if that time isn't good for you. Which brings me to my YouTube channel. If you've not been to the Soaring Solo Studios YouTube channel, there's hundreds of videos, free content, writing prompts, tutorials, and videos from other people in the community, so other solo artists who have tips on the journey as well. Heather has some videos on there, so just a wealth of material for you on the Soaring Solo Studios YouTube page. I also want to make you aware of the festival circuit. As a solo theater performer, getting involved in the festival circuit is something I strongly, strongly recommend for a multitude of reasons. First of all, it's going to put a stake in the ground for you. It's going to have enforced deadlines that you have to meet. It's going to put you amidst creative communities so that you have that built-in support of other artists. It's most likely going to be a financial investment. And once we've put our money down on something, we're going to show up for ourselves in a way that maybe we won't when something is free. And it also allows you to build your solo theater resume. I know as someone who's sat on a lot of panels and screening panels and things like that, for me, if something comes through and it has some laurels on it, and I can see that it's been at different festivals and different theaters and things like that, and it's gotten some, accolades, that does catch my attention as a theater professional because it shows me this person has been investing in their artwork and in getting their message out, and it's been seen and recognized by audiences all around. So that is a reason why the festivals are really important. So, on that note, some festivals to keep your ears and eyes out for. The Binge Fringe Festival at the Santa Monica Playhouse is that's something that happens in the fall. It's a grant-funded festival. It's completely free, free to participate in, free to the audiences who attend. It's all grant-funded. It is highly competitive, though. They take submissions usually in the summer. And yeah, it runs, I think, October and November most years. So they're already done with their curation this year, and they will be having the shows take place in the fall. And so if you're in the Los Angeles area, go see a bunch of the free shows, meet Evelyn and Chris, the artistic directors. If you're not in the LA area, they stream a lot of the shows. So you can go to their YouTube channel and watch a lot of the shows for free. And you can always submit no matter where you're at in the world. They have lots of out of town artists. I've had, in fact, Susan, who I was talking about earlier, we just found out she was accepted this year. So she'll be coming from Hawaii to Los Angeles to do her show there. So that's a great one. The New York City Fringe Festival, which I think is now called the Frigid Fringe. I don't know. They've oscillated between names, but the New York City Fringe, great festival, been around for a long time. I did it way back in the day, like 20 something years ago. Orlando Fringe Festival has been around for over 30 years. It's an excellent festival, and they have programming all throughout the year that you can be a part of. My client Cyrus was invited to do, I think it was called like Outfest or something for the LGBT community that they did in the new year. And it was a really, really wonderful festival. United Solo in New York City is the largest solo theater festival in the entire world. It's on 42nd Street. It's an off-Broadway credit. It is an investment, but it is a wonderful, wonderful festival. The Edinburgh Fringe Festival, I'm sure you've heard of. It's the mothership of all the fringe festivals. It's the hugest theater and arts festival in the world. There's the Philadelphia Fringe. The Hollywood Fringe Festival is wonderful as well. Had many clients in that. The LA Women's Theater Festival that I mentioned earlier is also a phenomenal festival. It's been around for over 30 years, also highly competitive festival, but definitely worth submitting to. That happens in March or April of every year, and submissions are usually in the fall into the winter. And then there's the Soaring Solo Star series, which I produce and curate alongside Heather. And that takes place usually in the fall or in the winter every year. And we are in the midst of curating that right now. So if you're interested in submitting to that and you think you can have a show ready by December, or you'd like our help in getting a show ready by December, pop me an email and we'll talk about it. Then there's the Theater 68 Arts Festival. Theater 68's Arts Festival, this is the inaugural year. This is in North Hollywood. I'm assuming it's going to be fantastic because I know Amber and her team, and they are wonderful theater professionals. So that's taking place the month of August, and I think there's still slots in that festival. So those are just a handful, and I could go on and on, but I won't. That is just to give you a taste of what's out there and what's available. And I also wanted to tell you, so we do solo labs. These are webinars that are taught by accomplished solo artists for solo artists. So I always have my eyes out on people in this community who excel in different zones of genius, who I think could lead a webinar. And right now, this month, we're having Reagan Wallace. She's going to be teaching the next solo lab. It's taking place this coming Wednesday, July 22nd, 11 a.m. Pacific, 1 Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. And it is about taking control of your acting career through solo theater and storytelling. Reagan is an accomplished film and television actress. She's been acting since she was like 2 or 3. Like, she's been in the industry forever. probably seen her on Malcolm in the Middle and That's So Raven and Seventh Heaven and ER and NYPD Blue and like a ton of other shows. But not just that, she also has a really fantastic one woman show that won Best One Woman Show at United Solo, which is no small feat. It's the largest solo theater festival in the world. And this is her first solo show, and it was her first time doing United. So to say that we were a proud team for her to come back with that award, come back to LA with that award was an understatement. We were very, very proud. So anyway, she's going to be teaching that lab. It's only $29. If that time and day doesn't work for you, just buy your ticket. I'll send you the replay that night. But you'll learn a lot about how in such a short time you can go from just the concept, this little seed of an idea, all the way to winning awards, touring the world. She's been to Vegas and um, Texas and LA, and now going to New York. She already went to New York. She's coming back to New York. They invited her back, and she's fundraising to go to Edinburgh. So she'll probably also be willing to talk about fundraising and how she successfully has done that. So anyway, it's going to be a lot of knowledge. It's a 90-minute experience, and there will be a robust Q&A at the end, so you can pick her brilliant brain. So I will put I'll put the link to that in the chat right now, but I will email it later as well, but just in case you want to snag your spot in that. So that's it for today. I'm going to hop off, but I will leave the chat up in case you want to chat for a little bit with one another, and I will see you at the next one. Thank you so much, everyone.